Plasma weapons are some of the hardest hitting infantry capable weaponry available in the Warhammer 40k universe. However, this awesome power comes with the potential of reducing its wielder into a pile of molten gloop. Now, to represent the incredible amounts of energy being contained in these weapons, I'll be showing you how to create some cool glowing effects. The effect that I've shown here will be achieved through just 3 paints: a black, a white, and Vallejo's fluorescent green. For the black and white, use whichever brand you most prefer, but make sure you use the same green. Now, this fluo or fluorescent green is incredibly bright and something I've not been able to match to any Games Workshop or Army Painter paint. So if you want this effect, then this is the paint that you'll need. The miniature I'm painting here is a Primaris Hellblaster, and I've already completed the paint scheme before I began applying the effect. You may have noticed I've opted for quite a subdued and darker colour scheme for this particular miniature. By doing so, the bright green will appear to be much brighter in comparison. Now, using a duller scheme like this isn't completely necessary, but darker schemes will produce the best glowing effects. So let's get started with the painting process. The first thing you'll need to do is to grab your white paint and a thin brush. We'll be starting off the glowing effects by giving the recessed areas of the plasma vents a layer of white paint. I would recommend thinning your paint with a little water for this step and apply a couple of thin layers. This will give you a really smooth white base colour to work from without potentially obscuring details by applying your paint too thickly. When you're applying this paint, also try to hit the sides of the ridges in the vent too, as this will create the appearance that the light is emanating out from within and hits the vent's walls as it moves outwards. Also, don't worry if you overspill onto those ridges too much, as we'll be able to clean them up later on. Now we get to the fun part, the application of the green. Again, thin down your paint with a little water and begin to completely cover over the areas that we painted white in the last step. By using that white as a starting point to paint, you'll be able to get the brightest possible green. Just make sure you apply a couple of your layers of your thin paint to get the best result. You can also use this paint to paint some of the light overspilling onto the rest of the gun. Using the same thin mixture as before, apply the paint around the vent itself. Over a black surface like this, the result will be very subtle, but don't worry. Simply allow the first layer to dry and apply a second over the top, this time focusing on the areas closer to the source of the light. Keep things simple though, as we don't want these areas to be too bright, as we want the black to contrast against the green. With the green completed, we need to bring back our white paint to tackle the brightest points of light. Even with coloured light sources, the brighter, more intense point of the light will appear whiter, and that's what we'll be creating here. As the source of this waste energy is most likely emanating from within the plasma gun, we want to paint the light source at the closest point to the gun's body itself, the sides of the vents at the bottom. Focus your application to the bottom half of these sides, again using a thin application of paint. By having this white at the sides and the green at the top of the vents, we create an appearance that a cooling effect is happening as the heat moves upwards. The final step is to clean up the ridges of the vents with a little black. Using black here will create a strong contrast against the bright white and green, resulting in an illusion of a brighter light source. Use a fine tip brush for this step and focus only on the very top edges of the vents and maintain the glow we painted onto their walls in the earlier step. And here we have the finished plasma glow. Now, whilst I applied the technique to a Hellblaster, the same techniques could easily be applied to both bigger and smaller instances of plasma weaponry. If you enjoyed this video and have suggestions for other miniatures effects you would like to see me tackle in the future, then please do let me know in the comments below. If you're looking to support me in making these videos, you can do so by checking out my Patreon page, which will allow you to donate for me from as little as $1 a month. That just helps pay for the miniatures, paints and equipment that I use to produce these videos. For anyone looking to chat about all things wargaming with others who also enjoy my channel, I've set up a Discord server which you can find a link to in the description below. And so the only thing left to say is, thanks for watching, and goodbye.